What's up, guys? This is Not Famous Radio. We're starting our live video today. I have a guest artist here. He's here locally from Clarksville, Tennessee. He works out in the Fort Campbell area by the military base. I'm going to let him introduce himself here in just a second, and then hopefully everybody enjoys it. And thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. All right. Let's go. I'll have you just sit right there.
Well, I love introducing myself.
Hell, you got to.
Scariest thing on the planet. All right. Oh, I don't look too bad, you know. Oh, I should probably lean a little more in. Hold on.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right.
Get real close.
How you doing? All right. I'm not gonna. Can I read that? This 4K vision don't be helping much, but it should be fine.
Oh, it's just people joining.
Okay.
All right. So what we'll do is, I guess, we'll go ahead and get started after we'll let you introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, and so everybody can get ready.
All right. Hello. My name's Kyle Hodge. I work at All American on Fort Campbell. And yeah, that's about it. I've been tattooing 11 years.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty simple.
Hey, man, that's good. It's easy too. You know what I mean? It's easy to fucking go with.
Yeah.
So about how old were you whenever you kind of first started tattooing?
Well, so I was 16 when I got my apprenticeship. I was in high school and I was drawing like sleeves on people with Sharpies and stuff. And an apprentice at the time that was in high school saw it and liked my stuff and asked me to come meet her boss. And that was at like Chicago Inksters back early. And so I just went there at 16, showed her my drawings and stuff. And she told me to do like a drawing on the spot for me to get the apprenticeship. Because like nowadays you don't know whose drawing is whose. So they gave me like 3 subject matters. They told me to sit down, make it creative. So I did, you know, just pencil, paper. And right after I was done, they looked at it and said, all right, can you start next Saturday? And I was like, yes, I can.
Hell yeah. No, that's cool. Man, so you definitely, would you say that during that whole apprenticeship that you had a pretty good mentor? Pretty good, leader?
Yeah, I would say so. It was hard, though, because the owners of that shop at the time weren't tattoo artists. They were just business owners. It was 2 females, and they just, one of the females' brothers was a tattoo artist in the industry. I don't remember his name. That's so far back. But, yeah, they were just 2 female business owners for the shop. So I kind of just got thrown under whoever was, like, there that was a tattoo artist,
right?
And so there was like a couple people that I kind of bounced some stuff off of, but most of the time I think my drawing background of constantly drawing kind of helped me out to just gravitate me towards my own way.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Now before we get into like the whole apprenticeship story and stuff like that, what was like your big inspiration? Like, did you always like draw as you were younger, or is it something that you kind of grew into? Like what inspired you so like wholeheartedly to be a tattoo artist?
So I have this rose. Wait, where's this rose at? I think it's this
side. It's on that side.
I have this rose on my neck. It's a simple red rose. And obviously I probably have one of the most basic tattoos on the planet, red rose on the neck. But I got it too just because my mom growing up, we were in like a trailer that you could see like bees nests and vines growing through the trailers. It was like a small trailer in Texas, somewhere in a small town. And I was always like super, super poor. And most of my stuff, I was just drawing my characters and cutting them out and using them as like toys and stuff.
Okay.
So ever since I've been doing that, and I also got into it just by my mom drawing like a red rose on a piece of wood, engraving it and doing like, she was very artistic too.
Oh, sweet.
So ever since then I was just like, you know what, this is kind of cool. I like drawing. So ever since I was like 9, maybe 10, I was just drawing from there constantly.
Okay, so you had kind of like a little bit of a background towards your art with your mom and whatnot, to kind of being there, already being artistic, in itself. So it kind of helps you with that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell, that's awesome, man. I was pretty much just drawing on my own. I didn't really have anybody like to teach me. So like I found art very, very interesting at a young age. So like anytime I was drawing, it was more so like just because I thought something was either really, really, really beautiful to my eye or something I just thought was so freaking cool. You know what I'm saying? Like if it had to be like a character from a TV show or something, but that's where I took off with it at. But yeah, I really didn't have anybody back with me that did any kind of art drawing. I mean, my dad doodled, but he never did draw, never did nothing like that.
No, I get that. It is kind of tough when you ain't got no one to kind of feed off of.
Right.
But those characters, like you said and stuff, had so much like cool design to it. It kind of helped inspire you to be able to create stuff because you're like, hey, well, you know, that's kind of sick. I want to be able to create something like that.
Exactly. No, that's where I really, really fell in love with it a lot. It's just because knowing that you can create so many different things, and that, you know, and I wanted to be able to place a mark on somebody. So I think that's the reason why, like, I really, really fell in love with tattooing, knowing that it's permanent. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I get it. You can get it, you know, kind of erased, you know, laser removed. You can get it covered up. But I mean, in my opinion, that scar is going to remain on that body until it's gone.
Especially if it's something like you create from your head, then you know for sure nobody on the planet will be able to recreate it. If it's already on someone, that's your mark you left on them, and then them constantly coming back to get your own art.
Exactly.
That's why we do it. It's like the greatest feeling possible, you know?
It is. And it's so unreal too, you know, like it's like an uplifting feeling. Even, I mean, it could be from the silliest tattoo that your client wants, but whenever you get done with the whole tattoo and you see all the work that you put into it, and you just, even if it's silly to you, you'll still look at it and be like, man, that looks badass. You know what I mean? It looks great, you know?
Even creating a concept, like you said, they can come in with the like wildest concept, and knowing that you can create it, make it your concept, and still like how you created it, because the way you were able to create it makes it like you're happy looking at it. You're like, actually, it was a crazy idea, but it turned out to be super cool.
Right.
And sometimes you don't even think about crazy ideas like that, you know?
Yeah, that's what I love about tattooing, man. I really do. But yeah, so about your apprenticeship, did you have any like kind of horror stories or anything that's like kind of like funny, or, you know, like, oh man, that's kind of messed up, you know?
So during my apprenticeship, this was, I think, like I said, 11 years ago, I was for one thankful enough to be a traditional apprenticeship to an extent, you know, like no one's actually teaching me too much except like one person, a guy who did my arm and stuff, or most of my arm. But I was like luckily enough to be on like tubes, coil machines, all the good stuff to start out.
Okay.
You know? But not too many like horror stories. I think those came a little bit later. Like this one guy came into our shop, and I was probably a couple years in for sure, and he like had like toilet paper around his neck. So I'm like, oh, he must have came from a barber shop or something.
Right.
And then he like comes in the shop, and I'm like, all right, I don't know this guy, but maybe he wants to walk in. So we're all just chilling, and he like walks up straight to my area, and I'm like, all right, let's just walk past the front desk. That's cool. Maybe he knows me. Sits down, and he's like, yeah, I want a tattoo here. Starts taking off his shirt, and I'm like, oh no. So I like look over while he's doing whatever he's doing at my buddy Mike, and Mike's like, do you know him? And I'm like, he's like, all right. He's like, bro, you got to get the fuck up and get out of here. And I was like, hey, yo. So he like grabs him, pushes him outside, and then the guy starts like stripping naked, sits on our bench. So we had to throw the cushion and stuff away.
Oh my God.
And finally, like the police come, and they're like, yeah, he's known for this. He's like from like a psych ward or a little hospital down the road. And I'm like, how is he just running around? He went to the barber shop to fuck with them too, I guess. And then I don't know how he got it all over his head. But yeah, that was one of the moments I was just like, you know what? this gonna be a weird time.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I ain't never had no incident with the guy doing that.
No, it's usually one in a few, thankfully.
Yeah,
especially today.
Hopefully, hopefully that's the last time it happens.
Yeah, like, for real.
Now, whenever you was starting up, did you because you said you worked with some coil machines. I got some funny stories about some coil machines myself. Did you ever get around to like making your own?
Like building it?
Yeah, kind of building your own coil.
Yes and no. How I did that, I was already like, I got hand-me-down machines from other artists, like Mickey Sharp's is that was like one of my first coil machines.
Hell yeah.
And so I was able to like not fully put it together, but I had an artist there who was really good with that stuff. He had a whole kit of like everything. So anytime something went wrong with his or mine, he'd sit me down and be like, all right, look, so this is what this is this, unscrew this, put this here. This kind of helps. Like, so I learned how to like fix them when they're a little messed up and tweak them and stuff. But I never like built one truly from scratch, because at that point, by the time I was like a year in, I want to say some people already had like the what is that machine called? Not the Cheyenne Thunder, Neotats.
Oh,
like
got you.
So Neotats were starting to kind of make an appearance, and then I snagged one and started kind of doing that. So I was like on coils for about like a year, maybe a year and some change, and then those Neotats took my life away. Those were
got
so
you. Okay. Yeah, man. So my thought process, because I started at a young age, I was pretty much, me and my little brother, we was, poor ourselves. We didn't really have much, and we was either around biker gang affiliation or some sort of gang affiliation. It ain't that we chose it, you know what I mean? It's just the neighborhood and stuff. But the thing is that at 9 years old, I was, this wasn't my first time. It's just my first time actually really paying attention. So we was in like this big old house party with all these bikers, and they're tattooing in there. And I'm like, man, I was like, is that going to come off? And the guy was like,
I don't know about that one.
The guy was like, no, buddy, these are forever. And I was like, oh man, you'll have to redo that. And he goes, redo what? I was like, well, that doesn't look, very good. He goes, well, you want to try it? And I said, well, I want a tattoo. I want one. And he's like, buddy, your mama would kick my ass. And I was like,
probably.
I was like, come on, man. And ever since then, I was like, man, I want to be a tattoo artist. So at 15, I was able to get my own machines, and I was like, I was kind of struggling because I didn't have a phone. You know what I'm saying? Like I used my friend's phone to kind of order all that stuff offline. And when I got it, I got the coil machine, and I was like, man, this is so cool. So I hooked it up. Everything ran great. And I was like, probably the best way of being able to know your machine is to be able to build it. That's what I'm thinking, So I went ahead, instead of tattooing with it on fake skin, because I honestly didn't even know what that fake skin was. Yeah. I was like, this feels weird. Throw it away. And I was like, all right. And so I ordered another machine, and this machine came. It was a kit that you could put together. I'm a guy, so I opened up the instructions, threw those away too.
Don't need those.
I don't read, so I'm like
Legos. You just throw some shit.
Right. So I'm seeing all these little pieces, and I'm trying to look back at the other cool machine that works. That's all together. Yeah. And I'm like, if I just look at this one and I build this one exactly how that is, I should be golden. There shouldn't be anything wrong.
Yeah, typically no.
So I left out a capacitor. I wired the coils to where it was hot, so you didn't need a foot pedal.
Oh,
and I didn't mean to.
You almost invented something crazy,
dude. And so I had the armature bar. I guess it was still screwed all the way in. So the armature bar was sitting there right up against the coil. Yeah. Right. So there was no nothing when you turned it on.
Okay.
So I was like, oh man, it's not working.
You're like, whoa.
But I also didn't unplug it either. So I just left it on the ground where I was working at in the floor of my room. And my room had the carpet, right? Oh. And so I go outside. I'm thinking, man, I need to figure out how to make this right. I don't hear nothing. I go back inside. There's a whole burnt spot in my carpet that coil machine was on. It had popped and burnt it. So
like freaking blew up.
Yes, it blew up the machine. No. The carpet was burning. I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know how to hide this." So for the longest time, I just stuck a rug there. You know what I mean?
Rug on a carpet,
dude. I just like it wasn't even like it didn't even belong in that. It was just an oddest spot in the room too. My nana was like, "Why'd you put the rug here?" And I was like, just leave it there for the dogs." She's like, "Yeah, but the dogs don't come in here." And so she went to go move. And I was like, no, don't, just leave it alone. So she left it alone. One day we were moving out and whatnot. I was 18 or whatever. And she said, "Where's this burn spot from?" And I was like, I guess later on, as you know, we've been walking on it and stuff, you can still see the coil machine where it was laid at.
Imprint?
Yeah, the imprint of the coil machine in that carpet. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that's the last time I'm going to do that by myself. I'm going to actually follow instructions next time.
Yeah, that would be the one way to go. But I mean, trial and error.
Yeah, buddy. It was, well, I mean, we almost lost the house, you know what I mean? Just for going outside for a little bit.
And you said your grandma was trying to like look at it?
Yeah.
I would have been like, did she smoke?
Nope.
Damn.
There was nothing around it.
Grandma, you like came in here one day and just fucking dropped a couple of them.
You were drinking. You must not remember. That's what it is, Grandma. Man,
you almost burned down your whole house. Just play mechanic on a machine.
Dude, I was too, man. I thought I had it down. I was like, man, this looks good. I hit the foot pedal. Nothing. I had the power supply on. Nothing's going on. The red light's indicating that it's hot, that it's running, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't know what that red light meant. I just meant it was connected.
Evacuate.
Dude, so, like I said, I was like, man. And then after that, it took me about a year or so to finally get somebody to help me out to where I could build my own, like, kit from, you know, from the start of it. And, but man, I ran coil machines probably about 8 years, dude. Dude, it was so hard for me to get off of them. I mean, I had the wireless machines, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where I think it was the first wireless one I had. I want to say it was a Spectra. Is that right?
Spectra Edge X. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So I got that when it first kind of came out.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy that. I got that handed down to me by a shop owner that was in Morgantown, I think is what it was. But that machine, I was using that, man. But I would use it every so often. Not that I didn't like it. It's just, man, I was so in love with the coils, dude.
Well, when you got like machines like coils that could line like crazy,
right?
Hat color, especially if you have really good coils, you know. Nowadays, they got coils out there selling for like $1,200 and like craziness. But those things, again, tattoo like no other. But then at the same time, you also have like things like the Flux Max and stuff that now can compete with coils.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because now it's $1,200 for this or $1,200 for that. Which one you going to go for?
Right.
So like me, I put coils down not as quick as possible, but I always wanted to find a machine that was the most efficient. The only thing I disliked about coils was setting up 4 of them for a tattoo.
Right.
And like putting the tube, the needle, 4 machines. Then I'm over here changing clip cords every 2 seconds. I was like, you know what? There's got to be an easier way to do this. And then I got the Cheyenne Thunder with the grip and the cartridges, and I'm like, never mind, this is so much easier.
It was a lot of love, wasn't it? But it was just like, man.
The way they felt, and I mean, good on people for continuing to use coils and stuff. But I mean, longevity, that little, like for me, the Flux Max, super light. I wrap it up, no cramp on my wrist. I'm trying to be longevity till I'm like 80 tattooing. If I'm still using coils, I think right now, I probably have a little more wrist strain and other shit. So I'd rather swap that as quick as I could, especially when I was 16. I was like, I got a little fragile wrist. What am I doing with this heavy ass thing constantly?
Right. You know? So there's a lot of weight on the back end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to have to go be a bodybuilder at 16 and make all these fucking coils work for me. No,
big as shit at a tattoo shop, just trying to tattoo a little person, you know what I mean?
Damn it.
God.
No, there's something about like, even nowadays, the machines, like you know how you have different settings on the batteries and stuff, and I'm like, it's just crazy. So I like coils still, and I would probably like to pick one back up just to have fun with it. But I think right now my heart is sold on these pin machines.
No,
they're just crazy,
dude. I got you, man. They took mine, dude. That's what as a the wireless machines, like what's something, what is the ones that you use pretty much daily now?
Flux Max.
The Flux Max.
Yeah, right now.
Is
probably,
it the Pro?
No, I think it's just the Flux Max, and then I have the Powerbolt battery, and then the Powerbolt extended battery because I want my stuff to last as long as possible.
Right.
But right now it's those, and then right before those I had the Bishops.
Okay.
Not the pins, but like the original, just Bishops. I had the liner and the shader, and that liner at a 5.0 is a coil. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. Dude, that thing is scary,
bro. Dude, so Jay, you know Jay. I love Jay. So he's the one that got me. Him and John is the one that got me really onto Bishop machines.
Yeah,
and so when because I watched a lot of videos of John Nelson, especially his tattoos. Man, I really like his tattooing.
Yeah.
Especially just the black work. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I was watching him, I was like, man, what machine is he using? So I'd just be on top of every video he had. Boom. He started introducing all his machines. And the one machine he has that he uses all the time is the Packard.
Yeah.
So, and it's which is a great machine. It's an all around machine.
All around,
you know what I mean?
Literally perfect machine.
Right. So, and then when I started telling Jay about, Jay's like, yeah, the gold ring. I was like, I don't know what that means, Jay. He's like, well,
the gold thing on the machine.
Yeah, I was like, they're all gold, right? He's like, no, actually, one's black, one's gold, one's like a dark gray. And I was like, oh, so you can kind of see like the difference of what machine it is. He's like, yeah, so because you can't interchange out the motor and stuff inside. He goes, you'd have to kind of send that back. And I was like, well, dude, this guy uses a Packard, and that's when Jay just started unloading about how great Bishop is, you know what I mean? And so I went ahead and got me a Packard, and then I got me and another artist here named Shayla. She gave me the shader, and man, I love those machines.
Dude, they're so good. I only stopped using those mainly because like the battery that you can get for like, I think it was like a critical battery. Those critical batteries give out pretty quick, or they're just so dysfunctional where it will jump from like 96 to 50 to 80.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, this ain't it. So, and then the one thing I don't like about the Bishops is that cast iron feel to it. When like you mess up even slightly, you have to scrub with a damn wire brush at that point to get it clean. Other than that, like, I think the Bishop machine is probably the craziest, best machine, other than for me the Flux Max, because of the different settings I can get with that. But I think I used my Bishop liner yesterday to do a little banger. I used like a little 9-round shader and just used the liner and packed it in. I was like, still golden.
Hell yeah.
It's still a brilliant machine.
Yeah, see, Shayla, she messes with the Flux, and she even has I think it's a Flight. I can't remember the whole brand of that machine, but man, they always talk really highly of those machines. And I still haven't even got the chance to use the Flux Max at all, and she has one. I think they got the whole Pro set up, and but yeah, dude, I absolutely love those machines, man. They're great machines. It's hard for me to go to another one, but I will say the one machine that blows my mind is because of the price of it too.
Yeah.
So there's this machine. I don't know if you've used it or gave it a shot. It's worth the money giving it a shot because it's not expensive.
Yeah.
I think $119 for the machine and the battery.
What the
All right, so you're thinking like
like an Amazon machine or something?
Yeah, so you're thinking, and even if you can go onto their website too. So it's a whole tattoo machine website. It's really cool. And when I'm thinking, $119, or $120, man, it's a little cheap for a tattoo machine. I don't want to spend that, and it's going to be, a shitty machine.
Yeah.
When I say that I probably used that machine maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's called the Ambition.
The Ambition. I don't know if I used it. I've used stuff like Dragonhawk or Mass, or stuff like that. I heard of Ambition, but I haven't used it at all.
There was this. I was just running across all these little tattoo blogs, and that everybody was showing about all their certain machines that they use. And there's one specific artist. I really can't remember his name, but he was talking about how his machine had went out on him, and he didn't have an appointment the next day. He had an appointment in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hurried up and got on Amazon and found the cheapest machine that he could.
Yeah,
that had a good rating on it, and he never heard of Ambition before. He grabs it and uses it.
Yeah,
has a 4.0 cam in it, right? And 4.0 cams for machines are pretty good. It's an all rounder.
Yeah.
He said that after that tattoo, he bought more Ambition machines just to make sure he had on standby, because he said he's never had a cheap machine run that well.
Yeah, especially if it's cheap. Even he's going to buy more just in case it might give out again in time. It being that, but I've used definitely cheap machines, and I've heard people even Stranger. He said, I think he had like $150, maybe $200 machine at a point, and doing great work with that too. And most of my career up until I think when I started at Dark Rain, I was using a cheap machine, and I was doing some fun tattoos with it and stuff. But even nowadays, if I have the money though, I'm gonna go quality still, just because
absolutely,
it's the craft I'm in it. I gotta go crazy with it. But yeah, if any machine gives out, I got the Bishops. If those give out, I got the ones that are still gonna do the trick. It might just take a little longer.
Right. Yeah, man. Like I said, I was really just stunned by that machine. Because I was not expecting something, because I was still able to run my speed. You know what I mean? I didn't have
to change too much, right?
Oh man, dude, that thing ran so smooth, and I couldn't be more happier with the machine. That was literally my last hope. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for budget too, because if you're one of your great machines, and let's say you only got one gives out, you got enough just $1,200 ready to drop for another one real quick.
Right.
We do, but do we want to right away? No, probably just test the waters with a cheap one, see how it goes. But cheap doesn't always mean terrible. Like you said, the Ambition and being a lifesaver and a gift instantly,
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'd end up doing too, just because I wouldn't want to spend that much on a machine. After a couple of tattoos, I will. But
right, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You'd have to get your quality machine back. Just it'd be a little different if this job wasn't as permanent. You know what I'm saying? If 2 more weeks they come back in, hey, you redo it, it's wiped off. Oh yeah, I got you. It's a little different.
I think everyone would have the same 15 clients throughout their life.
Yes, dude.
The amount of changing out and stuff. Yeah, my back piece, after a couple months is finally gone. I have a new idea. I'm all right, let's go.
Hell no, dude. That would be wild.
I think the quality of work would go insane, knowing that you can kind of fix your errors from the first time.
Right.
Only hard part is if they want the exact same thing and then it's fully gone, you have to redo it but make it better.
Yeah, and you got to make sure it's in that same way, because there are some people out there who want that exact image that you just did before. They want you to pretty much copy tattoos. It. Yeah, buddy.
Even I remember doing matching tattoos where it could be a whole hand-sized tattoo, full color, and they're yeah, we want it to be exact, and I'm okay, this is gonna be tough. So at that point, I'm do I make it as simple as possible so I know what to do next time, or do I just go crazy on this one and then just go crazy on this one just for the hell of it?
Right.
And I usually just go crazy on it, because I'm you know what, we're gonna make these look crazy, and it's gonna make it look like the same artist did both, that I just grabbed it and stuck it on there.
Hell yeah.
That's the challenge accepted. So that's what
hell yeah. So now in your whole box of tattooing, what would because don't get me wrong, I love color. You know what I mean? I love doing color work. But if someone asked me for my opinion, what would you turn this into? Black and gray. Dude, I find so much beauty in black and gray, and it's so appealing to my eye. Like it's hard for me to stop looking at it.
Well, yeah,
it really is. And so, and like I said, dude, I use a lot of black ink in my whole career. I have just to try and see, because I want to know how it works for each individual kind of client. You know what I mean? Because I know sometimes you'll have one client and then that black looks so fucking good. You know what I mean? It looks, just pitch black. It's just like, right. And then the next client, it's just because of their skin or something they
could be like tan or like welders or people that work construction, and it's just not the same.
Yep. And the consistency of that saturation doesn't look the same or nothing. So it kind of makes you back off. And the one that I really have found, besides, I think it's the Black Panther one, or Pantera or something like this.
Yeah.
So I like that black. But the Allegory Ultra and then the Allegory Black, I really like messing with them all the time.
I think I have an Allegory right now. I don't have like its darkest because who was it? Tyler at No Regrets. He when I was tattooing Crystal, he asked what black I used, and I told him I stand by triple black by Dynamic. There's something about that black that is just perfect consistency and it's super dark. But he was like, "Oh, I see you got that Allegory. Allegory is the way to go." He's like, "But which one do you got?" And I showed him, and he was like, "Nah, you got to go like." I forgot what he said, though. I forgot which black he said, but it's probably their darkest black and their nicest one. I just had, I think, the basic Allegory one. So I do like Allegory. The one I have, I just feel is too watery, and it almost feels like a dark gray wash. It doesn't feel like a black, you know? But I think it's just because, like you said, they've created more since then, and it's a lot more darker, just like I think Dynamic has a blackout ink, but it's so thick. So anytime if I wanted to use it, even my black, I would have to water every concept of it down just to get it to be in there and nice. But once I do, it's dark. There's no other way around that one. Like even I think my lightest gray wash was still pretty dark, and I'm like, good God! I was like, they really make this as black hole as can be.
They do, man.
So, but I would have to try the Allegory, whatever one you have,
the Ultra.
Yeah, because I've been looking for like new blacks, just because I like having options, not just staying with one. Because like you said, some of them work with some clients, and then for some reason some may not even be as solid with other clients, so why not try a couple, you know?
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing with those, man. Like, so my drop system, like I said, I'm not joking, I really did watch a lot of John Nelson videos, and I studied him so hard, and I pretty much even have his drop system the same way as mine. So like even Sideshow Danny. So like Sideshow Danny, like I love his work so much. I would pretty much bother him all day. I would, if I didn't have nothing to do, if I wasn't drawing, I was right there on top of him. Same way I was with John. I would just I wouldn't ask him questions. I'd just be watching him tattoo.
Because I mean, asking questions help, but sometimes, like for me, as crazy as it sounds, I usually never ask questions. I'm a visual person. So as I'm watching them do it, I'm not interested in like looking even at them, at what's going on. I'm like zoned in on that needle. I'm watching exactly how it moves. I'm checking the voltage when I can see it. I'm like eyeballing every concept of it. And then that's just feeding me knowledge by itself.
Dude, I'm the exact same way. And so like I pretty much picked up my drop system from Danny and John, and I kind of do it just a smidge differently. I know Danny uses like a cup of black ink, and then like he'll have his cup of water. You know what I'm saying? John is the same way. He'll have his Ultra, and then he'll have his black. That's it, and then his water.
Oh, so he just kind of dilutes it as he goes,
right? And because he does a lot of the stipple whipping shading. You know what I'm saying? And so what I do is the same matter, except I do ultra black, then I do the regular black, and then I do literally 4 drops of the regular black, and then the rest solution, and then I have another ink cap full of just solution by itself. You know what I mean? And so like I'll go through that the whole time, and as I'm using like my glide or whatnot to be able to like kind of like have some like soft smoothness to it, you know, instead of that really hard texture, I would just either mess with my bolches up and down to kind of get that nice gradient smoothness to it. Yeah. Or if I'm trying to really, really saturate it, obviously, then I would just use that ultra black. But man, that's my whole drop system for it. I don't do anything differently or nothing, you know.
And seeing that's not bad, and it's good that you went off someone and still made it your version of it, you know, because that's what I typically like to do. Like when I do black and gray, which I feel like recently has been rare because I've been on a color.
You have been, buddy. You have.
But my like black and gray I'll do is like the triple black all the way, you know, not watered down. I'll do 3/4 triple black with water. Then half of that until I get to like, I'll do 3 drops and then 1 drop. And then in my 1 drop of black, I'll add 3 drops of white, then 2 drops of white, then one until my darkest gray wash. Then I'll add water. Because that white will, for me, helps make the tattoos not be so red, especially with how I tattoo it. It makes it feel like it's already like a healed tattoo.
Right.
And I can put in my tones and see the tones. Because you know how sometimes like people will tattoo black and gray, even if it's their lightest wash and it just looks red and you can't tell if it's in there.
Right.
Me, I can kind of brush over one pass, see the tone without the redness, and then keep going. And I know how to like just leave it alone. And everything just feels settled and healed, which makes it easier for me to do the different amount of caps, because I know it's almost like working with color, even though I have no color in there except white.
Right.
It just kind of like gives you those tones for black and gray, like doing graphites. You know, each one is a little lighter. That's what I kind of like doing. And so far it's worked. But I've also tried how you just said, where it's like you got straight black, or you have your darkest, and then the normal black, and then like 1 or 2 other ones. And that helps, I feel like, for even more just neo-traditional.
Yeah.
If you're doing neo black and gray, I feel like you shouldn't have 6 or 7 caps out. You got to just leave it heavy contrast where it needs to be and don't touch it.
Dude, and that's one thing I really like about that style too, is just because that neo-trad with those heavy contrasts on there, dude, it looks so great, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And all the different line weights in it. But so whenever you do your drop system, do you pretty much, when you are diluting it, are you using the triple black the whole time for the dilution part? Even so, you won't even use your regular black? Like, do you have a regular black that's not tripled?
Nope.
Okay.
Sweet. Like for me, if you want like the darkest value, my darkest value will be the triple black, and then just dilute it down, because now all my blacks are matching. When I'm shading, when I'm putting in values, it's the same black, just faded down. And I feel like it's the same way when you're doing color. I'm not going to use, let's say, my dark red, and then I'll use a different red to dilute that red to do watercolor or something. No, I'm just going to use that red and different values of that red to create a smooth gradient. Same thing with black and gray. If you want everything to match up in values, I'll just use my triple and then just slowly dilute it a little bit. And I feel like everything will look natural, because if I change, like if I use Allegory and then I go to triple black or whatever, and I see a difference, I don't want that difference to show up when it's healed. You know? So I kind of like everything to stay pretty true to what I normally do.
Okay. Now, whenever you're doing tattoos, like what would you say is your, not particular style, but would you say black and gray is your favorite, or would you pick the definitely color? Because I mean, you do amazing work on both ends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love your color shit, and I love your black and gray. But dude, it's just your color shit is just, man, it's right. It's popping. You know what I mean? It's hot.
I appreciate that. I do. I mean, since growing up, I think color has always been my forte. Just how you talk about black and gray, I'll talk about color. If I'm bringing any piece to life and they give me creative freedom, I'm doing color, because I'm able to make a certain piece stand out so vividly by using muteds, earth tones, neon colors next to like flat valued colors and stuff. Like there's so many different things, and then playing off of that with like your dimensions of like heavy black, and then highlights for me don't even have to be white. If I'm doing highlights, I'm doing usually like muted off-white or something. If it's like white, I feel like should only be at its very, very brightest tone of your design.
Right.
If not, even just a color that may look a smidge like off-white, like right here. This looks whiter than this, so I'm not going to pack white here and here. I'm going to pack white here and leave this as like just that off tone, so you can still have your whites push forward. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think color has always been my forte, and there's something about just packing it, because I love black and gray too, but it's so much harder, and I say this, it's harder to do a black and gray portrait than it is a color portrait.
Really?
All right. I only say this
because tell me about this.
One small shade off, you're done. You're going to give her like a look, or you're going to give her like a sickness if you go a smidge too dark, and you're only brushing it in. So imagine if they even like hiccup wrong or something, and you got a weird like jagged line. Color, you're not really brushing too much. Sometimes you're packing, and I know each value where to put it. So if her cheek is a soft pinkish tone, I'm going to brush that soft pinkish tone in there. Even if she moves, that pink tone is still going to be that pink tone.
Gotcha,
black and gray, you're layering and making it smooth. There's so many more hiccups that could happen, and so many things you could do. Let's say you're like, oh, I'm starting, but maybe I want to brush it up and go a little faster.
Right.
Going over a spot even slightly too much with your black and gray is only going to darken that tone, and then your face is going to look a little more weird than it would with color. So I think when you have a whole palette of color set up versus black and gray, I can just keep dipping, and I know where I'm putting the color, saturating in and out, I'm good. If I'm doing like that RoboCop tattoo I did, if I did that in black and gray, appreciate it. If I did that in black and gray, and let's say I'm doing like his lip area and I go even a smidge too dark, I don't know if I'm going to go too dark or not, because I'm just tattooing it and trying to brush it in.
Right.
Color, that dark area is just going to be that dark color. I can't go any darker unless I literally dip into black or try to mute it down, you know? So that's why for me, like, color is scarier for most people, because most people are worried about what colors to put there. Once you figure out what values you like and what is on that face, now it's just you put it there and go.
Right.
So I will take color portraits over black and gray, because for easiness. I still like doing black and gray portraits, but I think it's just harder.
So whenever you're doing a portrait, what's I guess what would you say that's your more stressful, difficult like spots on the portrait?
Ooh,
like, you know, I'm not saying like a loved one's face or nothing. Like, it's just.
I would honestly say there's two. Cheek area, as crazy as it sounds, like I said, there's something about, even in color, if you even go a smidge too dark or in black and gray, that whole face near this cheek can make or break that portrait.
Fast too.
Or the hair. Really? The thing is, with a lot of people, I notice they're not patient with hair. They see strands, they put noodles. They don't sit there and brush every stroke in there of the direction it's going and then go into it with a mag to overlay a shadow and stuff. They're kind of just putting the hair in like this weird shape just because it looks like that in the image. They're not breaking it up and finding directions that it's going, lighting. Sometimes they're leaving like the same value all the way through, even though they should layer over some areas to give it that like overshaded look.
Absolutely.
You know? So with hair, I would say color is definitely harder for color portraits with hair, only because
I can see that.
If you're doing a blonde one, oh buddy, you got to bump it up as much as you can.
Dude.
It's just, that's a nightmare. So I would say like cheekbone area and hair. I think eyes, lips, even nose, pretty self-explanatory. You know, you just kind of put tones there. It's and the frame is there, but when you got these open areas, you really gotta define it as an artist. It just makes it a little bit harder to make it look like hair and make her face look good.
Yep.
So I'm picking those.
Dude, I'm with you on the whole cheeks. I was even telling my wife, the hardest part is like I'll even do the whole, like I'll get the lips, I'll get the nose, and then like I'll start coming out this way a little bit more, and then like I'll start getting the forehead, and then maybe the eyes, and then I'll start doing the eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
And this will be left alone for a little while, just because I'm already stressing myself out. My dude, I know there's no going back.
Yeah.
Once it's there, it's there, and so I'm like, so what I'll usually do is to calm myself down, and I'll turn my machine down just a little bit. I'll even suck in the needle in just a little bit more. Yeah. And then like I would just slowly, just kind of pack in those tones and stuff. Just if it took me an hour to get this one side of the cheek done, I guess it took me an hour, dude. I
mean, as long as you're doing it efficiently, then it don't matter how long it takes. You're just trying to make it look good,
dude. And
that shit is scary, huh?
It is because, like you said, you can either make or break you. Like this character is either going to look like they've been on meth, or they just look like they're a supermodel. You know what I mean? It's going to go bad fast. And I think in portraits for me, man, I have a lot of fun doing the lips, the nose, and the eyes. And the nose is really, really difficult. It does scare me a little bit, but I love the shadow placement on underneath.
Yeah. I always like getting that under shadow there. Yes. And then this part is cool.
Dude, it is, man. It looks so good when you do it perfect, when you do it the way you like it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're like, man, look at those lips. They look so real. I can touch it. You know what I'm saying? It's just right there, and you can it literally looks like it's popping off the skin really well. But dude, it's nose, lips, and eyes for me, dude. I love doing eyes, like an eyeball, even if it's just an eyeball on the arm or something, man. Yeah. Dude, I absolutely love doing eyes. Like, I'll even get lost, like not in a bad way, but just lost in my own thing. Even if my clients talk to me, I'm just so mesmerized by just the eyeball itself doing it, man. I had, like, when I was a kid, dude, I would draw eyes all the time. Like, I'd even, I'd take the whole piece of paper, and instead of drawing the eye shape, I would take the actual color of it and make it the whole paper, do all those little lines in there. I would go in depth where you just go deeper and deeper in it. Dude, because I find eyes to be very, very, very mesmerizing to me. You know what I mean?
And you drawing them so much only makes it more exciting for you to tattoo it. I think a lot of artists, when they're scared of like eyes, nose, and lips, is because they're not drawing them that much. So like when I'm drawing like neo-traditional or illustrative designs, I'm drawing them and having fun with them. And the more you draw, the more it's going to be easier when you go into it.
Yeah, because it's like the muscle memory thing. You know what I mean? It just feels so much easier as you're doing it, because that's the same thing you've already done 3,000 times yesterday. You know what I mean? So that's where I really find it to be easy, but definitely, dude, those cheekbones, buddy, they scare me. Yeah, no,
even in like color portrait, color pencil designs, those things are still like tough. But that's how I learned a lot of portraits, is just Prismacolors on toned paper.
Okay.
It's literally like tattooing. So wherever I like go a little bit harder / like slower and really get in there, it'll be dark. If I want to fan it out and blend it, I'm kind of doing the same thing on skin, you know?
Hell yeah.
So those have saved me a lot.
So now, do you...
Put this up over here. Thing's yelling.
Do you have a specific style that you absolutely love? Like you would do it all the time if you could?
You know, I feel like when people look at my Instagram, they're going to think like color realism or like anything like that.
Right, yeah. I mean, I definitely would, you know.
Okay, maybe that was a terrible idea. Hold on. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Probably like anything illustrative. I've drawn so much out of my head. Like, in my station at the shop, I have a whole wall of probably like 50-something or more like designs that I've drawn like from my head and stuff.
That's awesome.
And I would I'd tattoo all those every day if I could. Because I know them like the back of my hand, creating something on someone that no one has seen. It's all original. And it's all color. I know I have one black and gray thing on the wall.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a gorilla graphite portrait.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
But
I love that stuff, dude.
it's definitely like illustrative or color realism, like doing some flowers, even like anime, like doing anime stuff. Like,
yeah, I see you do a lot of those.
I don't do it too much. Like, I'm not known as like an anime artist, but like I put everything into it to where most people can't tell I'm an anime artist or not. And that's my goal is I want to tattoo every single style and act like, or make it feel like I've done it for 10 years, each style. And that's just because I like tattooing too much. I want to conquer it all.
Absolutely, dude.
So,
I mean, why stop, at one, when you can just do many, right?
Everyone's always said, like, why don't you just stick to one thing? And it's like, well, that's where you're going to get bored. That's where you're going to stop growing. I'll do stipple like no other because I want to learn and make it crazy. I want to do black and gray. I want to do any concept of tattooing, even like bioorganic, biomechanical. Let me get them. I'll conquer them.
Right.
That's my whole goal. If I'm in an industry, why not be the best for myself to be the best that I can in that field? If you're an NFL player, don't you want to be the best of that one?
Absolutely.
So I like good on people for having only that style that they created and that they like to do. And, maybe once I hit a certain age, maybe I want to only stick to a certain thing. But right now, I'm just running through it all, trying to get it all.
Yeah, and which, I mean, I feel like, I'm not saying like every artist should be that way, but I'm just, especially new ones, you know what I mean? They should at least, especially if they're getting out of their apprenticeship. The only thing I find that's differently with the whole new artists now is just like, they're like, no, I only do this one style.
Oh,
it's like, God, man, why?
I can't get into all that. Not that I'd ever be like rude, but like for me, it's the amount of people that paved the way in the industry to tattoo everything that comes in. You're here to create art, please clients on what they get on them, and whether it's memorial tattoos, this or that, and then on top of that, to be the best in your field. So why are you only wanting to do one little thing, even in the beginning?
Right.
Like, no, you gotta be able to do everything, because once you can do all these styles, each style is going to only benefit you in the other styles that you like.
Right.
When I'm doing neo-traditional, you don't think color realism and all that is only going to make my neo-traditional stand out even more?
Yep, exactly.
And then on top of that, when these younger artists are trying to only stay in a certain field, you're getting less clients. You're not branching out and being able to get a lot more business, and that business only pushes you further to work harder. Nowadays, you got apprentices instantly on iPads, instantly tattooing after 3 months. Like, I've seen shops, whether it's maybe not even here, but in that, I guess, tri-state area type of thing, where you'll see a shop owner get an apprentice, and then that apprentice literally is already probably on skin in under 5 to 6 months. And I'm like, not me. I was almost a year and a half to almost 2 years before I touched skin.
Right.
Because I feel like if they're only doing little bangers, they're going to be stuck on doing little bangers for their first 5 years, because you did not push them to do so much more. My apprenticeship, my first year on actual skin after the apprenticeship, I was pushed, and I was doing color realism. I was doing black and gray realism. I was doing traditional, neo-traditional. I was doing everything because I forced myself to draw every single day and create and learn every single style that I can. So that way, when walk-ins come in, I'm confident enough, even if I had to stay up till 4 in the morning doing it, I can do it, and they can trust me to leave the shop, and I can handle anything that's coming in.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, I can't trust anybody. If I'm leaving, let's say, and someone's like, oh, this or that, it's like, all right, but you can't do this, this, and this. So someone has to be here for people that want to be able to get something done like that.
Right.
It's just a whole nightmare of how everything has turned around. 10 years ago, people were so much more driven to learn tattooing and get so much better. Now, it's just like a gimmick to them. It's, let me make a quick book. Let me do
a hobby type style.
A hobby. Let me do these trendy little tattoos, but you tell them do a hand, a finger, a neck, they'll, oh no, I can't do that.
Right, it's too hard.
They could be 5 years in and they don't want to touch a neck, and I'm like, you should have been tattooing a neck at your apprenticeship to figure it out. That was your trial and error, and you gave that up. So, and it's always the people that are like, well, I was never taught. And I'm like, okay, but now you have people that can, but you don't want to learn it.
Exactly.
So it's just people like stuck in their ways, but they're still young. So I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, it's just the one thing that really does get me with it is that I mean, it's, you know, hell, I appreciate everyone who wants to be a tattoo artist. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I'm glad that we have grown to where now we got young folks, you know, guys and girls that want to be tattoo artists, who want to own their own shop, who want to build their own empire, which is absolutely go for it. You know, do your thing. I want everybody to succeed, to win, to be at the top of the same mountain. Dude, that is awesome. But when you're an apprentice and you just come out of it and you're just starting your tattooing and you're going to tell me that you turn down all these tattoos because you can't do them, or that you don't, that's not your style. What gets me really bad is that, like, it's like, what if it was? What if that was your style? And you can't say you can't do that. You have to give that shot. You know what I mean? Because, man, I would have never guessed that I like doing black and gray, like I said.
Yeah.
But the one color thing that I love doing, the one color thing I will never give up doing, is sticker tattoos. Oh, I love sticker tattoos. I don't care if they're super small, big as shit. I will do a stick. I will get excited. I mean, I get excited about every tattoo I do, even if infinity knots with Roman numerals all in the centers of them. I will get excited about a tattoo. Yeah. But the sticker tattoos, man, I would have never have known if it wasn't for this family over at the other shop I was working at before here. Yeah. They gave me a shot. I told them, I tell everybody straight up, I'm like, because they'll ask me, is there anything you've been wanting to do? And I'll go, yeah. I got a lot that I've been wanting to do. I was like, I want to do these sticker tattoos. And they said, what's that? I was like, well, it looks like a sticker. And they said, well, can you show me an example? I just pulled up an example of this guy, the sticker tattoo artist, sticker guy or something like that. I can't remember his name on there. But phenomenal work. And they were like, yeah, dude, that'd be cool. I was like, and they go, you ever done one? I said, nope. They said, all right, well,
you gonna learn today.
Yeah, and that was cool, man, because it was 2 days right before Thanksgiving. So, like, and these guys even come with me to the conventions and stuff and whatnot to be able to showcase my tattoos that I've done on them. They still come to me every now and then, man, and their whole family does. So I really appreciate them. But yeah, dude, like whenever I told them that I had never done it before, but just trust me, it was almost like they looked at me and they're like, "You ain't gotta say trust me. We got it. We know you're going to give it your all." You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I love, knowing that my clients know that whenever I tell them, "Hey, man, I've never done it." Yeah. But give me a shot. Like all of them are like, dude, hands down.
If I post anything that's like, "Hey, I want to practice this and so forth," I'll have too many people like, "You can practice it on me, let's go." And I'm like, see, and that's what's nice. Even though like they're always yelling at me like, "Whoa, well, it's not practice, you know how?" And it's like, no, I know the formality of to do a good tattoo on you, but this is just something that I want to eat, sleep, and breathe. So I want to learn this style now to get better at this one, so I can sleep at night.
Exactly, dude. Because a lot of people don't notice about us. Like, we'll take a picture of our work and we'll step back and we'll look at it, and we'll probably look at it 2 more times even after the client's left, and we're we're zooming in, and it could be just a tiny little spot, right? And it's going to bother us. It bothers the crap out of me when I'm going home, and I'm like, great, dude.
Dude, today I still do that. Like, even there was one tattoo, and it was a big color realism piece, and I literally probably forgot the I shit you not, this big of a space that I didn't just hit with color, and it was like skin tone, but everything else was colored on there, and I just saw it. No one else would see it because it almost looks like an off gray. Yeah. But because all the color around it, I saw it, and I was like, oh my Lord. I was like, how am I going to sleep now?
And it's going to bug
me so much. I was like, I missed one tiny spot, and I can't. It just, I've always been the perfectionist when it comes to, like, I saw an artist on Instagram, and they were like packing color. He's like, this is how you tattoo. And he packed all the way up to the line, and he's like, yeah, it's saturated, right? No. does it again. He's like, don't be lazy. Get up. He's like, what stands out from tattooists to tattoo artists is they'll take the time and get all the way up to that line and not leave a single thing out.
Right.
He's like, that's how you tattoo. No laziness. Tattoo, he's like, I don't care if it takes you 12 hours. Make it perfect. They're paying you. You have to now uphold your standard and make it flawless.
And you should. Absolutely, man.
So when I saw that tiny spot, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, did it?
Just
it does.
in the shower like this.
Dude, because I mean,
all upset.
Because they probably will never even notice it until one of us pointed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially because the artist who does it will always see that small little spot.
Yeah.
And dude, and that's what gets me. Even my clients be like, dude, it's fine. It looks.
Yeah.
I get it. It looks great. Thank you so much. Let me fix it now. Like I want to fix it right now.
Oh yeah, especially with like clients when they're saying like, dude, it looks good. Most of them are saying that because they're in pain now when I'm going. And
right.
Oh, it's not my pet peeve because obviously if you can't sit and it hurts, I know I ain't trying to kill you, but it almost makes me just. They're like, I have so much more to do. Please don't give out. Let me just focus on this. I know it hurts. Here's 5 numbing sprays. Like, let's go.
Right.
And it gets something in the back of your head to like, hey, just get through this. And I'm like, no, I need to make sure when I started is the same quality of when I stopped this tattoo. So I always feel bad. Damn, they're making you do a whole
yeah.
in like 5 minutes.
It says I gotta drag this puzzle piece directly in this spot. But
oh shit, I didn't let her know. Okay. I got a message, so playing really fast real quick.
no, go for it.
But hey,
even on our off days we're still working, you know what I mean? Like we
I
really
don't
are.
stop. Tomorrow. Today.
Has anybody been coming in and out of the live? Yeah.
Okay, we're good now. Oh, that thing's leaking too. What the heck?
No, yeah, we just filled it up and we had overfilled it because there was a client talking to us.
Yeah.
And they had said something. We started laughing, and Ben was like, he looks down and was like, oh shit. So I went ahead and cleaned it up real quick.
Oh. Do we have a koozie? I'll just grab this one.
There's another one up there.
I'll steal it. I forgot about my drink. That's what's keeping me all day energy in the world.
But shoot. So let me see here. What's probably like? Do you have like a really memorable moment of your like that's? It can either be funny or serious that a client has done or said, or someone has acted in a way that was just like kind of off. You know what I mean? Or even if it is funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a client to where like this is more like not to ever bash anyone because I'm not gonna do that. But I was like listening. I was tattooing someone, and I'm like listening to a certain artist, and this client got upset. Right? It was an artist named Tom McDonald. He's I guess controversial. I didn't even like barely any of his stuff. I think he had one song that was kind of like a feel good for himself, like talk your shit moment where, you know, he's just talking to shit about where he's come from and stuff. Wasn't even a political song, but I'm just tattooing. I'm listening to that one because it like my playlist is random. It'll be on shuffle. He came on, I'm just jamming, and she's just like, oh, you listen to Tom McDonald? Oh, I bet you support this and that. I'm like, oh God. I was like, this is where this would go.
From a song.
Yeah.
That is wild.
And then she got like so upset, and now today she bad mouths me to everyone saying I'm a racist because I like Tom McDonald. I'm like, girl, I listened to one song by him, and that is it. You went so political on me. You went this and that. I'm like, I don't care. I'm just trying to give you a cool tattoo, make it look nice. And both tattoos on her look sick. But after that, I was just like, all right, well, I ain't winning that fight. So
oh man.
now it's like in my head, I'm like, do I watch what I listen to now when I tattoo certain people? But now I don't care. You're coming into my station. You're coming into you. There's a thing called headphones. If you really don't want to hear what I'm listening to, which nowadays is just a bunch of metal screaming and stuff, which I guess some people can't do. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. But now I'm just like, you know what? if anyone ever gets like super upset, I mean, then I'm not your artist. I'm a open book when it comes to if you're getting tattooed by me, just talk about what you want, chill, listen to what you want. I'm
Right.
going to do the same, and then we're both going to be vibing, and that's it, you know?
Dude, and that's the thing with you know what I mean, with this, even doing this podcast, man. I just like I try to tell everybody, dude, it's not that there's always going to be some sort of hate out
Yes.
there. It doesn't matter what you do. You can do all good.
Yeah.
Someone's got something against you.
Oh, all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I can get other artists, you know, like yourself and all these other people that's locally here, out of state, in different places, man, and I can show the world that, you know, these shops are, you know, we are people too. Like
Yeah.
we aren't just, you know what I mean? And I want to show other artists and other shop owners that, you know what I mean? Like this is other artists from different places, different, you know,
we're all
different
literally
shops.
just normal people
Right.
trying to tattoo, trying to make a living and have fun, and trying to have fun doing it,
Right.
stuff like that. And like I've had clients try to make me work for like 14 hours straight, and I'm like, yo, I am just human. I get you're impatient and you do want it done, but I was like, you're not going to get the same quality at that point. I'm going to be drained mentally, physically, just trying to get it done. Like sometimes, even like you said, when we're working on our off days, like you could sit there and be off, tell people I'm going on vacation, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll still get spammed like, hey, you know, I hear you're not in today. Well, can you show up? And it's like, no, I'm off. They're like, well, that sucks. When you going to be in next? It's like, I posted, I'm off. I was like, just give me a couple days.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't like when you say, give them a couple days. They'll just go somewhere else. And I'm like, all right, so when you're off work, you hate when your boss calls you about, like, let's say Walmart or a tire shop? Oh, you hate it. But you don't do the same thing to other people.
Dude, and and they do it fast too, man.
Oh,
they do it fast, buddy.
It's quick. So
now you said you're from Texas, right?
I was born in Texas. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of drafted you up this way in this area in Tennessee? Like, what kind of brought you up here?
So I was born in Texas, moved around a lot. Like I would be living in like hotels and stuff. Like when I was younger, trying to my mom trying to make a living. We were like, so it was my mom. My dad was in prison for like 3 years or whatever. But so my mom was taking care of 5 boys at the time, all about a year apart.
Man, buddy, poor woman. You guys are probably wreaking havoc all the time.
The hell out of each other.
Oh, I
throwing
bet.
each other through walls. And
Yep.
It was crazy. So our ass beatings that we got was definitely intentional. And,
yeah, it was worth it, wasn't
yeah,
it?
It was on purpose, which was good.
She definitely did that, yeah.
But I lived in Florida for a little while. That's where I started my tattoo career, was Florida. I've been there. I was there from like 2012, I think, to 2022.
Oh, wow,
I want to say. And then I moved here just because I wanted, like, Florida was so hot. It was so expensive. It was like all flat. Nothing felt new to me.
Right.
Being somewhere for 10 years, it was just kind of a lot. So I kind of like packed up and moved to Tennessee for the change, and I loved it. The mountains, or not mountains, but like the curvature of coming through the mountains to get here, the weather was different. Everything just felt like a breath of fresh air.
Right.
And that's kind of how I came to be here. It was just a good change that I think I just wanted after seeing the same palm tree and the same heat every single day and not seeing snow.
Right. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it's beautiful down there. It's just the scenery, especially up in this area, you know what I mean? It is so gorgeous, and especially when you go out in the places that are just different hills and mountain areas that are just, it's green, you know what I mean?
Oh, it
really
is.
It's just so pretty, and like this, I'm not saying it's the prettiest place ever. It's just, you know what I mean? It just, it's hard to say it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really is.
I also did not like hurricane seasons there.
Oh, I believe it.
Probably every other couple weeks to a month, a different hurricane blowing in from the shore of like the beach and stuff. I was like, yeah, no, if I feel my house shaking every other day, I'm good.
Yeah, dude, I know this is silly, but every time anyone says anything, just these 2 words, hurricane season, I don't know why, but it takes me straight back to the Pineapple Express movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it,
Seen that.
but it's when he's like, I thought hurricane season was over. Dude, I don't know why.
I mean,
but-
just hearing hurricane season, you're gonna hear his voice,
right, dude. Every single time someone says it, I don't care if it's someone I don't even know. I say it in my head all the time, just the way James Franco did it.
Yeah.
I thought hurricane season was over. You know, I was every fucking time. But no, man. I'm definitely glad that we was able to do something like this, dude. I really feel like that it'll help with the community and our industry for sure.
Yeah.
And I really feel like it also help our clientele, even not knowing that, you know, the clientele that we got already don't know us. It's just the new ones, man. You know what I mean? They get to know that, you know, we are just people too. We're not just tattoo artists. Because I know a lot of times, man, when I'm tattooing, especially if it's like a long session or something, dude. Not that I'm not a talkative person. I am. Yeah. I'm just, I get into it, man. And like some of my clients would be like, "Oh, you don't talk a lot, do you?" I'm like, "No, I talk a lot." And they're like, "I haven't heard you say anything for 5 hours." I was like, I know. I'm so sorry. I was like, what do you want to talk about? And then like, this is where I hate it. If it's something that I designed, like then they never changed it. I'm in love, right?
Yeah, so, you're going.
Right. So I'm just sitting there going, I'm tattooing, and they're just telling me these things. I feel so bad for saying this out loud. Sorry, guys. But when they're telling me these stories and they're like, la da da da, what do you think about that? I'm like, yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. That is amazing. And it could be something bad.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. My mom died.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're just like, oh, what?
Dude. And so this girl, I was doing a little vine wraparound sleeve on her arm. So we did this part, and then we did the rest part the next day or the next weekend. So she was talking to me, and I remember answering, and I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just I really like doing flower stuff, leaves and stuff. Love it. So I was just having fun, especially something that wraps around. It's so fun, man, because it gets different and different and different. I don't like to keep the same thing. It looks like a fucking copier. You know what I mean? So I was working my way around, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I do that stuff too. And I remember saying, yeah, I do that all the time. I do this all the time. She comes back in the next weekend, and she's like, man, you're crazy. I tried doing what you did. And I was like, would you try doing? Like, what did I say that I did? And she goes, you said you watch movies and stuff while you drive. I was like, why would I do that? Don't do that. That's dangerous. She goes, yeah, I almost wrecked. I was like, why?
Did she blame it?
Right. She said, no, you told me that, because I told you that me and my boyfriend was trying to drive home. We had about an 8-hour trip left, and we was almost home. And I was like, 8 hours doesn't seem like it's almost home. It looks like it's the beginning of your trip
Unless it was like 36 hours.
Right. But, like, where did you go? But no, dude, she started telling me that she was telling me a story about how her boyfriend was trying to get her to watch a movie, and she just thought that was dangerous. And I guess I answered back with, oh, I do that all the time.
You're making it seem like it's fucking easy.
Yeah, dude. So she starts telling me that she tried it. She goes, no, I almost wrecked it. I was like, why would you do that? That's dangerous. She goes, you said you did it.
I have it on recording that you said that.
I was like, no, why would I say that? She goes, I don't know. I just thought it was weird too. I was like, are you messing with me? Are you messing with me right now? She's like, no, I'm not. I'm being serious. She's such a sweet girl too. Yeah. And I was like, so I put the stencil on it, and I go on a break, let the stencil dry. The whole break, I literally thought to myself, did I really tell this woman that I watch movies and drive at the same time? You were
fucking so zoned out. Right. Like, ain't no way. Maybe I need to like just look up for a second and
dude,
be like, huh?
it got to the point before I walked back in, I had called my wife, and I was like, I told a client I watch movies while I drive. That doesn't seem like me. I was like, I don't even do that. She goes, why would you tell her that? I said, I don't know. I think I just responded back to her question that she was asking me. I just never knew that what she asked. And she's like, yeah, it's weird. I told that girl, I was like, yeah, I'm so sorry. I need to really tune in when you guys are talking to me. She goes, were you not? I was like, no, I'm so sorry.
I'm focused on your tattoo, my bad.
Dude, I was focused hard too, and I feel bad. But you know, like I said, man, I feel like this podcast and stuff will kind of get people and the new clients, you know, more comfortable without even getting to meet us. Because walking into a tattoo shop, I do, especially new people, young ones, you can feel
the tension.
Yes, that they're like,
I understand
who do I talk to? You know what I mean?
When I got my chest done, for the first time I was 16, full chest piece. Like I got like
Man,
the whole
hell
outline
yeah.
and stuff, but that feeling doesn't hit you until you like sit down in their area. For me, it didn't. And like you see the stencil and they're talking, like there's something about just everything just leaves your body and you're like, oh my Lord, this is intimidating. But I do understand because before I started tattooing, this was when I was like 15, maybe. Like just before I found my apprenticeship, I walked into a shop and I wanted to be a tattoo artist. And people we were with he was getting his first tattoo, and I just remember like walking in, and they just seemed so cool and intimidating and shit, even though they were all probably teddy bears, you know.
Right.
But I went in there and I'm just looking at the books like I know what I'm looking at. And they're like, "So what y'all doing in here?" Oh, he's getting his first tattoo. So a guy starts talking to me, and he's like, "You like what you see?" And I'm like, "Oh no, not for me. This is what I want to do, and all this work is sick." And I'm over here like, "Yeah, y'all's work is so cool." And he's like, "Well, man, keep at it. You draw a lot, and then just fucking come in." He's like, "It ain't even that scary." And I'm like, "All right, I will." And then ever since then, I did. But I was like shaking in my boots, looking at portfolios and seeing people just getting tattooed. I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "That's gotta hurt." That's
almost making you think, "Am I in the right spot? Like,
yeah,
should I be here,
dude?" And I was like, this was like freshman year era, and I'm over here in skinny jeans and all types of stuff. I'm like, what am I doing in here? I feel like I'm off.
That's funny. What time is it? It's 11:30. So we've probably been an hour and a half on it. Yeah.
Hour and 18 minutes. You gotta call me if you want to look at it.
Okay. Yeah. What we'll do is here in a minute, I guess we'll take like a small little 5-6 minute break. We'll leave this on, just so we can use the restroom and that kind of thing. And then what we'll do is, anybody who has any other kind of questions in the comments, definitely please, ask away. Yeah, dude, definitely, bro. Anything you guys want to say, shout outs too, just whatever, and then we'll try to read everybody's stuff and answer everybody's questions and whatnot. And dude, I do want to do this. So like I said, I got individual artists coming in at different times, different days and stuff. And what I would like to do is, and if you're down for it, this would be cool. So I had this spot at my house where we have, it's like a little guest room area inside of our garage, but like it looks nice. It's really, really nice. And I thought about setting stuff up and then maybe trying to get you, Colton, and a couple of different artists from different places. Yeah. And then get like say if I got Annabelle, you're a shop owner, right? Yeah. That shop owner with you come there, and then another shop owner from a different location come there too. And we just have like a round table.
I was just about to say, is it like the celebrity round table where everyone's like around just chilling?
Yeah, and
talking about.
I would think that'd be really, really neat. You know what I mean?
I'm down. That sounds cool.
Because that's a whole realm of artists around us. You know what I mean? And that's like, and I feel like once people can see, all different artists from different shops and different locations and shop owners coming together as one like that, dude, that's powerful to me. You know what I mean? It really is. That's a huge, big statement, Yeah. So I think that'll be really, really neat. And as long as you're down and everybody else is down with it, I would love to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We can have like some snacks and whatnot, and boom, just have a big ass live video feed going.
I'm down.
So sweet. All right, guys, we're going to give it about a little bit of a break. We'll be right back with it. And like I said, guys, ask away. Leave as many questions as you want. We'll be right back. Take these little headphones off for a second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just fell. I forgot it was hooked up that way. My bad.
We go into the bathroom, take a piss, and we're just talking.
Leave this here?
Yeah. Not worried about you lock yourself in. Or you know you lock everyone in. I'm not keeping you from anything, am I?
No, I just gotta be done probably by like 12.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Just to make sure I can head to the shop on time. I ain't fooled it up. I had like 2 appointments, but I pushed them just a little out just to make it easier.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me not drop this again.
Yeah, I forgot to put it on there.
Let's try this. Boom, there we
All
go.
right, babe. If you want to come on up over here so we can like kind of read some things and see what's going on.
All right, there we go. Back at it again. Why are you so tall?
Dude, yeah, I should just be approached like this.
I'll just be like,
dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. The Josh Rab, the guy that works here, bro, I'm telling you right now, if he were to be standing next to me, his head would be out of the frame of this
really?
camera. Yeah, dude, that dude's 6'6".
Okay, yeah.
Dude, he is
He'd have to sit
tall
on the floor and then poke his head up. Like
yeah, he'd be the same height as us right now. Like, golly.
You got a question, so what mic setup are you using? And ask them what shop you're at now.
All right. Well, thanks for staying with us, guys, all day. And I appreciate it for everybody who tuned in and who stayed with us to kind of watch the videos and check out Kyle Hodge. Yeah. But, yeah, we're out here in Clarksville, Tennessee. Kyle actually lives or works over there close to the military base on Fort Campbell. I'm more on the opposite end of Clarksville, so but we are still in Tennessee, and yours is All American, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Kyle works at All American, and the shop that I'm at obviously is right behind us is White Wall Art Company. The mic setup we use, man, I don't know the brand. I wish I did, but all it reads is Wireless Mic TX, and I hope they work great. That's all I'm asking. But no, Ben, he's the shop owner here, and he's pretty much got those mics for the podcast, for any kind of live video feed that we're going to be doing. Any other questions that they asked? No other questions? Ian, 10 on 10 on his work tattoo he did on me 7 years ago. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And then, let's see, anybody else? Nope. But all right, man. Well, I appreciate it, Kyle. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Anytime.
And all right, well, thank you guys. And we're going to be trying to do another one this Thursday with another local artist here. He has his own shop, and I'll let him introduce himself whenever he comes here that day. And remember, guys, not famous. We're just loud.
Hi, Colton.
Oh, hell yeah, Colton. What's up, buddy? Damn, I didn't even fucking.
All right, it says Colton says hey, so let's just assume it's
Let's assume it's him.
Yeah,
because it just says user 7078.
He just created that really quick.
He's like, it's me, guys.
We hit the end. It's Taylor.
Wait, which Taylor? I know too many Taylors.
Is his girlfriend named Taylor, or am I
Is it?
tripping? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it has to be. It's the same. It's the same little thing.
Yeah.
It says Colton says hi. We hit it at the end.
Oh wait, maybe it's his kid. Okay.
No, I'm about to say, that's the kid doing it.
Yeah, see,
it's his girlfriend.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for tuning in.
We're just slowly disappearing out. That's tough.
Hell yeah. No, I'm sorry for everybody who tuned in a little later. We are going to probably try to do some different times and stuff here soon, and just to kind of see which one works the best. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you all next time, okay? See ya.
Goodbye.
That was pretty fun, dude, for real.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
I'll just be on there for another like 30 minutes.
Right. It's like, what are you guys doing? Trying to turn this shit off. Pause live.
Pause it.
Pause it.